a business owner, your main task is to be working on money creating tasks, money generating activities. If you are working on anything that's not generating money, you are wasting time.
We getting money, money, money. When Jameer sharing gems with her getting money, money, money. Getting a line, growing money and time. Getting money, money, money. It's your life, trying to give more life. Getting money, money, money.
What's up, money getters? Welcome to today's episode. Today, I'm going to be giving you 3 things that I would do if I were starting a business this year. I know being an entrepreneur is not easy, and it doesn't make sense to do things that are going to make your life harder when your life is already hard being a business owner. So like I said, I'm going to give you 3 things that will actually make your life easier and, more importantly, help you get to the money faster. Make sure you stay to the end so you can catch number 3, because number 3 is the big one. That's the real big one. Number 1 and 2, those are important things that I would do if I were starting a business this year. But number 3, if you don't get this right, I'm telling you, it's a done deal for you. So let's get into it. The absolute first thing that I would do if I were starting a business this year is that I would start collecting emails and phone numbers. This is so key and so vital. I hear so many marketers say, make sure that you have an email list and you're collecting emails in your list. Yeah, that's great. And you definitely should do that. But text message marketing is the way. And I'm gonna tell you why. So first of all, emails are wonderful, like I said, but on average, and this is across all industries, so some industries are going to have higher open rates, some are going to have lower open rates, but you can't get to the money if the people aren't opening your emails. So emails alone get between 17 and 28% open rates. This is not a terrible open rate, but only 17 to 28% of people on average are opening the emails that companies are sending. By comparison, text messages get opened 95% of the time. So 95% of people that you're gonna send your message to are gonna see it if you're texting them. 17 to 28% are gonna see it if you are emailing them. Why not do both? Let's have our cake and eat it too. So I will start collecting emails and phone numbers right away. That's the first thing I would do. And I would do this before my business even started. I would do this by establishing a social media presence on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever your favorite place is. Pinterest, LinkedIn is your choice. Or all of them, some of them, whatever. That's the first thing I would do. And then I would start providing value in the posts that I make. And every now and then on some of those posts, I would encourage people to download my high value ebook or download my 20 to 40 minute mini course that I've created for them, or download some high value content that I've created for them so that they can start to see that, hey, I ain't here for no play. I'm going to give you something of high value for free. I'm going to give you my best stuff for free. Because when you're giving away the best stuff for free, just imagine how they're going to feel about paying you when you get ready to ask for money from them. They're going to think like, wow, she gave me or he gave me this item, this ebook, this training, this white paper, this high value checklist for free. I can only imagine what the pay stuff is like. It's going to be so much easier to make the sale when the time comes. But if you don't do that right away and you just start trying to sell people out the gate, why should they give you any money? They don't even know you. They don't know what you're about. They don't know that you are an expert in this area. They don't know that you have the best product in this particular industry. They have no idea because you have not established yourself as an authority or a thought leader. You need to create an account with an email marketing provider, and there are a ton of them. I personally use Klaviyo at this time, but there's Klaviyo, there's Entreport, there's Kajabi, there's Constant Contact, there's MailChimp, you name it exists. Just Google email marketing providers and you'll find a ton of them. Now, when you start to create this, you're going to make sure that not only do you ask for their name, you only need their first name. Don't ask them for a lot of information that's like kind of starts to be a little bit sensitive. Like you don't really need their last name. You definitely don't need their address, but you do need their email address and their phone number. So you're going to ask for their first name, you're going to ask for their email address, and you're going to ask for their phone number. Make all of these fields required. If you don't make the phone number field required, most people are not going to fill that out. And so therefore you'll only have mostly email addresses and first names. A lot of marketers will tell you not to ask for the phone number. I don't agree with this at all because text message marketing is the way. The statistics show it. It's tried and true. Think about this. For every 100 people that get your email, 17 to 28 people open them, okay? Again, on average. Now, you may already have established a higher open rate or lower open rate or what have you. But again, like I said, this is a very general statement about the industries as a whole across the board, across all text message marketing, okay? So for every 100 people that get your email, 17 to 28, 17 on the low end, 28 on the high end, are opening those emails. Conversely, for every 100 people who get your text message, 95 of them are opening them. So only 5 aren't opening. Only 5 on average. So make sure that you are establishing a lead magnet that is high value. You cannot give people any crap. Like I see all these lead magnets and it's just like, get a discount. I don't encourage the discounts. We'll talk about what I call racing to the bottom in a whole separate episode. You need to provide a high value lead magnet to them that's going to provide them a lot of value, make them feel like you are an authority, because I'm assuming if you have this company or the service or product, you are, and make them feel like you provide value. You are someone who they can trust to provide value to them. So that's the first thing I would do. Start collecting emails and text messages right away. Comment below and let me know if you have an email list and a text list, or just an email list or just a text list. And if you have neither, let me know. I don't got either one. Let me know in the comments below. The second thing I would do is I would not spend more than 2 days and $50 on a logo. People spend way too much time and money on logos, trying to get it right, trying to create it and curate it and do all this other stuff. Like, it's too much. The best logos are super simple and really easy to actually duplicate. So think about like Nike, for example. Nike's logo is nothing more than a lazy check mark, if you really think about it. And it only costs $35 for them to get that logo done. And that logo is worth like over $2 billion at this point. I think last time I looked, it was like worth $26 billion. Something crazy. That's how much it's worth now. But when they got it, it was worth $35 because that's what they paid for it back in 1970, whatever, 1972 or whenever it was created, right? Don't spend a ton of time. Think about the logos that are highly recognizable, that you can actually duplicate pretty easily. So brands like Coke, Amazon, Disney, Nike, McDonald's, those are sorts of brands that you can easily recreate the golden arches if you wanted to. You could easily draw that out. You could easily recreate the Nike lazy check mark. You could easily recreate the Amazon smile from A to Z. You could easily do that because they're simple. They're simple, but not only are they simple, more importantly, they're super duper memorable because they are so simple and so easy. So when I see people creating new businesses nowadays, they're working on their logos and they're spending weeks upon weeks trying to get the logo right. And usually that logo is way too complex. It's too much going on. It's not easily duplicated. And that may be what they're trying to go for, but that's actually a bad idea. You actually want your logo to be kind of sort of easy to duplicate, at least on paper. Obviously you don't want people to steal your logo, which is why you go and get it trademarked. But before that, you want your logo to be super duper simple. 2 days is really the max you need. Honestly, it should be like a few hours, but I'm gonna max it out and give you 2 days for those of you who really want to make sure you get this thing right. But for the most part, you don't need more than a day or 2 to get your logo done. You don't need to spend more than $50. Like I said, Nike's logo only costs $35. And I realize that was in 1972. So you might be saying, or 1970, whatever. I may have that year wrong. But you might be saying, well, what about inflation? Listen, I have gotten logos done for multiple businesses for $20 and they look amazing. Actually, I'm going to be completely transparent. If you go to my website, which is gwenjamere.com, you will see my logo. My logo cost me $25. I did not create it myself because I'm not a graphic designer and I don't claim to be, nor do I play one on television, but it only cost me $25. And it took a day for the designer to send it back to me. So in my opinion, it looks freaking amazing. So you can do the same thing. And I've had logos created for other people as well because I consult sometimes. And so every now and then, every blue moon, I will work on someone's website. I'll design a website for someone, or I'll do a whole brand kit for somebody and I'll get the logo done. And I don't do the logo myself because like I said, I'm not a graphic designer, but I do have a team of people who I can go to get that done. And it never cost me more than $50. So you don't need to be spending a ton of money. And the fact of the matter is you can't get to the money if you're spending all your time focusing on a logo. You're focusing on the wrong things. As a business owner, your main task is to be working on money creating tasks. money generating activities. If you are working on anything that's not generating money, you are wasting time. Don't get me wrong. So I realize you might be just starting out. And if you're just starting out, I understand that you are a team of one, maybe two if you got a friend or a partner or a spouse or a cousin or something helping you out. But for the most part, if you're just starting out, you're one of one, right? There's only one of you. You have to do all the things. And so with that said, I understand that you have to work on things like a logo. You have to work on things like shipping. Or if you're selling a product, you have to work on things like fulfillment. You have to work on content creation if you're a service provider and you have to create courses and things like that. I get it, right? I understand. But what you want to spend more of your time on as much as possible are the tasks that actually make money. The sales calls, the email marketing, the text message marketing. If you have a product and you go to shows and you vend, going out there and doing vendor shows, all those sorts of things. Those are money generating tasks because the business can't run if you ain't got no money. So you have to work on money generating tasks. And again, you can't get to the money if you're spending all your time doing things that don't actually make any money. And this is important to know as well. For those of you who are just like, Gwen, I gotta get my logo right. I gotta have all the colors and I gotta make it look like what it da. Listen, a logo alone has never in the history of evers caused someone to buy from a company. The logo alone does not make the sale. The logo is just an identifier. So again, it's just an identifier. It's just something that when you see it, oh, I know that that's McDonald's. Oh, I know that that's Nike. Oh, I know that that is Amazon. Oh, I know that that's Coke, right? That's all a logo is. But the Coke logo, when it was created back in the 20s or whenever, 1920s, I think, that did not inspire anyone to make a purchase by itself. Now, the brand of Coke, yes. But the logo, no. The logo is not the brand. The logo is the identifier. The logo is part of the brand, but it is not the brand itself. So again, don't waste your time, spend a whole lot of time and money and energy on a logo. Get it done, spend $50 or less and move on. If you need to find somewhere to get your logos done very cheap, but very, very, very high quality, you can go to Fiverr.com and there's thousands of designers who will do amazing work for really, really, really low cost. Comment below and let me know how much you spent on your logo. If you have a business and you already established your logo, let me know in the comments. I'm super curious to find out how much you spent. And no shade if it's more than $50. Like, no shade at all. Like, completely transparent. My first logo for my very, very, very first business, which I opened when I was in college and I closed it years ago. That business, I spent a few $100s on that logo before I knew that I could get logos way cheaper. So no shame at all. But let me know in the comments below how much you spent. Number 3 is, if I were starting a business this year, I would at all costs avoid being the sole face of the business. I made this mistake with one of my other companies years ago. I was the only face. I was the only person that the customer saw, only person that they knew. They got to like, know, and trust me. But when it came time for me to want to take a break, or when it came time for me to want to just, go on vacation, it was really hard. Sales didn't come in because if I wasn't there, sales weren't happening. If I wasn't marketing, sales weren't happening. If I was not the one going live, if I was not the one doing all the work, nothing happened. And it got to a point where at some point along the way, I tried to get a different person to come in because I was overwhelmed and I was burnt out, as you will be too if you don't get this right. I was burnt out, I was tired, I was overwhelmed, I needed a break. I tried to bring somebody else in and try to gradually establish that person as a separate face, and it did not work. They ain't want her, they wanted me. But that's because I had established that I was the face. And so think about it, like if you have a favorite doctor and you go to this doctor and for whatever reason, that doctor is not there that the day that you have your appointment. You have your appointment, you think it's with your doctor, you go to the appointment, the doctor's not there. You got somebody else. You may go ahead and say like, okay, I guess, I'm here now. I might as well take the appointment. But you're a little like, I really wanted my doctor. A better, even more personal example of this would be more than just a regular doctor, but actually your gynecologist. Ladies, if you have your gynecologist, you don't want nobody else looking down there. You want your doctor who you've established a relationship with, because that's a real intimate kind of situation, right? You don't want to go to your gynecologist and there's some new gynecologist there that day and you're like, who are you? You might actually even cancel the appointment and be like, well, let me know when my doctor is back, because I don't want this person looking at my stuff, because me and my doctor have a relationship. I don't have a relationship with you. I have a relationship with him or her. So I'm gonna just wait, right? I'm not going to go through with this process today because I'm not comfortable. I don't really know her. I don't like, know, or trust her or him. I want my old gynecologist. So it was kind of like that, right? It's kind of like the same thing, although clearly not as personal, but still, you like what you like, what you like. You like who you like. And so if you establish that you are the sole face of the brand and there's no one else that your customers or your clients ever see, you're going to set yourself up for the woo-woo. I'm telling you, in the short run, you are going to get burnt out. You're going to not be able to take days off because let's face it, as a business owner, we don't have built-in off days, right? We have to create our off days. There's nobody saying, hey, you get 12 sick days a year. Hey, you get 6 vacation days or however many days you get. You get 2 weeks of vacation. Nobody's giving us that unless we create it, unless we establish it. And you cannot make that happen. You cannot create those breaks for yourself if you are always having to be on. So make sure that you have more than just you be the face. Now, you can be the main face. Don't get me wrong. You can be the main person, but you don't want to be the only person. You want them to understand that there's somebody else that's going to come in every now and then. And you want to establish that from the beginning because it's so hard once you've done this for a while and you're the only face of the brand. It's really, really, really hard to convince customers that, oh, this person's okay too. This person's safe. Come on, you know, friend or coworker or colleague or whatever. I'm telling you, it's extremely difficult and sales do not come in. You don't want your money to stop just because you're not there. You want to be making money in your sleep. You want to be making money while you're on vacation. You want to be making money while you're on the toilet. You want to be making money while you're hanging out with your family. You want to be making money around the clock. You don't want it to only happen because you showed up on camera or because you sent out an email with your face on it or because you personally had to send out a text message. You need to establish that there is more than just you at the helm of this business. Again, like I said, you can be the main person. You can be the main face. Just don't be the only face. So short term is not beneficial for you because, of course, like I said, you don't get a break. You don't get any time off. You're always having to be on. And quite frankly, I don't want to always have to be on. I want to be able to relax in my jammies sometimes. Sometimes I want to just not work for a couple days because I'm tired. Although I love what I do, I still get tired. I need a break. Like, we all need breaks. So that's the short term. The long term problem with being the sole face of the business is that let's say someone comes knocking at your door and they're like, hey, we've been noticing you around on the internet and we've been seeing your brand and seeing people talk about you and we want to offer you $400 million for your business. Now you may be thinking like $400 million? Who gonna offer me $400 million? Girl, sir, you don't know. You better get ready before you got to be ready. I'm telling you, because if you're ready when the time comes, you can get to the bag real fast. Okay. So somebody comes along to you and they says, we want to offer you $400 million for your business. And you're like, oh my gosh, great. This is what I've been wanting, you know, yes, please take the business. Right. But if you're the sole face of the business, they're not going to give you that $400 million check. You know why? Because you cannot be duplicated. When you leave the business, so let's say you get your check, your $400 million check, and then you exit the business. If sales only happen because of you, then sales are not going to happen and that business is not valuable anymore. So you are going to be cutting yourself short, selling yourself short because you haven't created a way for sales to occur in your absence. So again, yet another reason why you want to make sure that you are not the sole face of the business because you don't want to go from a $400 million valuation to, let's say, a $400,000 valuation because you're the only face of the business. That would suck so bad. Oh my gosh. I mean, $400,000 is nothing to sneeze at, but if you could get 400 million, please. All I had to do was make sure that I did not be the sole face of the business. It's a no-brainer. So think smart, think long-term always, not just a short-term, long-term game always. Think of the long-term every time you're making a decision for your business. I want to make sure that you win this year in your business. I know how hard it is to start, run, maintain, and grow a business. Lord knows that I know the struggle. I know it so well. And I see a lot of businesses struggling. There's a lot of businesses actually folding right now, which is really disheartening because I believe that if they just had a few tips and didn't give up, they might have been able to make it through. And if that's you, I want you to know that you are not alone. There's so many people whose businesses failed. I've had a business fail. I know what it's like, you know? And so I was really thinking about you this year and just my community as a whole and how challenging things have been in the past year. There's a lot of businesses, like I said, that folded. There's several thousands, hundreds of thousands that are on life support. You know, what I've learned in over 10 years of owning a very successful business and also from the School of Hard Knocks from having a business fail as well, I know what it takes to make your business thrive or help your business win this year. So I decided I wanted to create something that was really, really, really going to be of high value to you to really help you do your thing this year. So I created a small business survival guide that you can get for absolutely 100% free. All you gotta do is go to my website, which is gwenjameer.com/bizguide, and it will take you through 56 pages that I wrote for you on how to save money in your business, how to thrive this year, how to ensure that your business actually wins. Okay, it's 100% free. All you gotta do is go to the website. Again, it's gwenjameer.com/bizguide to download it, and it'll be sent to you right away. All right. So thank you for joining today's episode. I cannot wait to talk to you next time. Make sure that you again like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the bell for notifications so you never miss a Get Money show, because I want to make sure you are always set up to get to the bag. I'll see y'all next time.